Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 2 of this beginner's yoga course. So today we're going to start with a little bit of chanting. We're going to chant the Ganesh mantra, which is a symbolization of removing obstacles in your life. So with the Ganesh mantra, you normally chant it when you're beginning any new venture in your life. So at the moment, you're all beginning a new venture in a beginner's yoga course. So this is a suitable mantra to chant on week 2. And after the chanting, Sophie is going to do some Kapalabhati breath work, which is skull shining breath. It's one of the main pranayama techniques. And then following that, she will do an Asana practice and explain some more of the benefits of the yoga postures. So I'm going to share the screen now so you'll be able to see the lyrics of the mantra and also the meaning of the mantra. And if you can just give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you can all see it, okay? Can you all hear the mantra okay and see the lyrics there? If you could just give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Okay, great. So you take it on share sound as well. No, because you can only do one or the other. Okay, so we'll sing this for the next 3 or 4 minutes just to get us grounded and centered for our yoga practice. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. 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 Om Gam Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. So we'll do it 4 more times to notice the vibrations when you Om. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. 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 Okay, so I hope you enjoyed just singing along to that mantra. So if you were interested, it's just like an introduction to mantras, but they actually can be quite healing and powerful. If you're feeling kind of stressed or anxious or depressed at all, it's very uplifting for the body and the mind. And I know when people are new to it, they're a little bit apprehensive, and some people think it's like a religious cult or something, but the more you practice yoga, the more familiar you become with singing mantras and the healing vibrations of the mantra. So if we'll probably do one maybe at the end today, the Gayatri mantra. Try to notice where the most vibration is coming from. So if you're on mute, feel free to kind of sing your heart out unless you're disturbing anyone at home. And just notice where most of the vibration is coming from. So it could be from like the cheeks and the jaw, could be the throat, it could be the chest. And it's kind of just releasing any negative energy from those areas. So there's always a good benefit to everything you do in yoga. So if you're interested in it a little bit more, maybe just doing your own research and to research the main benefits of singing and chanting mantras. Okay, so I'm going to do just a little bit of pranayama and then move into our vinyasa flow practice. And the breath work I'm going to do today, it's called Kapalabhati breathing, which is called a skull shining breath. So Kapal is skull and Bhati is shining. And it's actually meant to kind of energize you as well if you're feeling a little bit lethargic, or if you were working all day or sitting at the desk and you just feel like, oh, I have no energy to do anything. This breath work really kind of just gives you a little bit of a boost. So beginners kind of find it a little bit difficult to follow as well, but the easiest way I can describe it is that it's an active exhale and a passive inhale. And then when you exhale, your belly button is just drawing in towards the spine. So it's really active through the nose. So the mouth is closed and you're breathing in and out through the nose. So I'll just do a few rounds so you can see what it sounds like. And usually you can give your nose a little bit of a blow before, because you're kind of forcing the air out through the nose. So it goes like this. So if you can notice, the belly is just drawing in on the exhale, and then the inhale just happens automatically by itself. So active exhale, and then just a passive inhale that will just happen automatically. And then if it helps, you can bring the hand to the belly, or you can just bring the hands facing down and resting onto the knees. So we'll just take 3 deep breaths before we start Kapalabhati. So deep breath in through the nose, and out to the nose. 2 more. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And again, we'll begin. We'll do 20 to 30 rounds, and then we'll do 3 rounds of the 30 rounds. So if you feel you've had enough with 20, you can stop. I also meant to add that if you have high blood pressure, you can skip this, or if you're pregnant, you can skip this and just breathe just normally in and out through the nose. So nice active exhale and passive inhale. Keep drawing the belly in on the exhale. And then just take 3 rounds of normal breathing in and out through the nose. And do second round, again 20 or 30. And just notice the sound of the exhalation and notice the belly pumping. So bringing the belly in. So it's really good for the abdominal organs as well. Just bringing kind of fresh blood into the abdomen area. So again, active exhale, passive inhale. And then releasing, 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then last round, again, really notice that pumping in the belly, and active on the exhale, passive on the inhale. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing Kapalabhati, just coming back to your normal breathing in and out through the nose. 3 full cycles of breathing. And the reason they call it the skull shining breath is meant to make the face and the forehead shine. So it's actually anti-aging breath work as well. So we'll have this radiance, bring some radiance into the face. So if you want to, again, do in yoga, we call it svadhyaya, is self-study. So when you get introduced to new things, it kind of requires a lot of research and reading to kind of find out more about it. So if you're interested in that as well, I can put that into the comments actually, because I know it's quite difficult to spell. So I'll add that into the chat, the chanting and the Kapalabhati breathing. And I'll also send you the mantra that we sang today with a handout that has the benefits of chanting. Okay, so we're going to get ready for the practice. So if you want to get any props you need, bolsters, blocks. I'm going to start in child's pose today. And if you don't have bolster, you can use a cushion or a pillow. If you don't have blocks, you can use a couple of books. And then if you do have a pillow, a nice option is supported child's pose. So you can bring the knees out to the edge of the mat and then just bring the chest and the belly down onto your pillow or your bolster. If you don't have the pillow, you just reach your arms out in front and then bring your forehead down onto the mat and just try to relax the sit bones back towards the heels. Making child's pose a little bit more active when you're reaching forward with the arms and opening into the shoulders as well. Again, just let the sit bones sink back down towards the heels. And you start to bring awareness to your breathing. So breathing steadily in and out through the nose. And you want to try and direct your breath into the belly and into the ribs. So nice deep inhale for the belly and ribs expand. And then exhale, just let the belly and the ribs draw all the way in. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly draws in. And then just noticing where in the body you might be holding tension here. So you might not be completely releasing and relaxing the upper body down. So just allow the shoulders to drop down towards the floor and the sit bones towards the heels. And then you can take a moment here to set a sankalpa for today's practice, which in Sanskrit it means san means same and kalpa means vow. So just making an intention for your practice. It could be just something simple that I am happy, I am healthy, I am peaceful. But you can also just take this time to choose your own sankalpa. You just say that to yourself in your own mind 3 times. Take 5 more deep breaths here. Again, notice where you're expanding the breath. So make sure you take that nice deep belly breathing. Inhale into the belly and the ribs. And then exhale, just let the belly and the ribs draw in towards the spine. Start to notice the sound of your own breath, maybe noticing the sensation of your own breath as it comes in and out through the nostrils. And then we're slowly going to come forward into tabletop position. And then we're going to move through cat-cow pose. So you're going to inhale, extend the spine, so tailbone up, gazing forward. And then exhale, rounding the spine, spread the shoulder blades, tucking the tailbone under. And inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, extend, tailbone up. Exhale, round, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in, chin towards the chest. Inhale, extending. Exhale. Let's do a few more rounds of your own breath, your own rhythm, and just try to keep your awareness along the spine. Usually when we start our practice, our minds could be quite busy, we're quite distracted, maybe reflecting on things that happened earlier today. But as much as you can, we want to increase our presence in our practice. So keep the awareness along the spine. So in the low back, what kind of sensations do you notice here in the low back? Be in the mid back or in the upper back. Applying your Ujjayi Pranayama. You remember this victorious breathing. It's like you're fogging up a mirror. So you're making that ha sound, except with the mouth closed. So if you were doing Ujjayi with the mouth open, it's like but with the mouth closed. So trying to kind of maintain that Ujjayi Pranayama throughout the practice. And then we'll bring in figure 8. So you want to bring circles into the spine. So you can bring the chest forward over the wrists. And then exhale, bring the sit bones back towards the heels. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, back. So bringing weight into the wrists. And try to spread your fingers and press down into the index finger and thumb. And then switch directions, so nice big circles the other way. And then we're going to do one pose for opening up the shoulders, which is Anahatasana, so melting heart pose. If you have your cushion, you can bring your hands onto the cushion. If not, your hips are just kind of staying stacked over your knees. And then you walk the hands out and then bring your forehead down to the mat. And then you just get a really nice opening into the shoulder joints. Take 5 deep breaths. And then slowly come back to center. So you can back into tabletop. And then we're going to tuck the toes under here and then just start to draw the belly in towards the spine. So activating the core a little bit, and make sure you press down again into the heel of the hand, into the base of the index finger and thumb. And then just lifting the knees up off the mat for a moment. We're just going to hover here for 5 breaths. So just bringing a little bit of fire and heat into the belly. One more breath. And then when you're ready, you can just send the hips up and back. into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So you're going to walk out your first down dog. So you can bend your knees, maybe sway the hips from side to side. And you want to try and push the floor away with the hands. So you're sending the weight back into the legs, and you're sending the chest and the belly a little bit closer to your thighs. Just shake out the head, yes or no, just releasing any tension in the neck. 5 more breaths. And then slowly walking the hands back towards the feet, and come into ragdoll, so you can grip the elbows and then just relax the upper body down, maybe sway side to side, and maybe shaking out the head, yes or no. Noticing this stretch in the back of the legs. And then releasing the hands down, you can walk the hands back to downward facing dog. And then you're going to do just a little bit of mindful movement. So with mindful movement, you can just take the pace. It's a little bit slower, and you can focus on your breathing and the muscles that you're using in each pose. So we're going to inhale and come forward into high plank, so shoulders stacked over the wrists. And then exhale, we're going to drop the knees and come back down into child's pose. And inhale forward into tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And inhale, moving forward into high plank. You just notice the shoulders working here, the cores working. You can draw your heels back towards the back of the room. You can lift your kneecaps and engage your thighs. Gazing straight down at the mat, keeping the spine aligned with the neck, and then dropping the knees and coming down to child's pose. So inhaling into tabletop, exhaling downward facing dog. Inhale forward into high plank, and then exhale, drop the knees, child's pose. Inhale forward into tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into high plank. Then exhale, drop the knees, child's pose. We'll do one more together with cues, and then we'll do one on your own with no cues. So just try and memorize these 4 postures. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into high plank. Then exhale down into child's pose. You can do one more on your own. It doesn't have to be perfect. We want the movement to be mindful. Focus on the breathing. If you like doing one more, we go right ahead, or maybe just pause in child's pose. That was really nice, Rachel and Carla. Lovely pace there. Nice, steady, smooth pace and breathing. So we'll take 3 more breaths. Again, I'll be trying to stay connected to your Ujjayi breathing. And then we'll come back into tabletop and tucking the toes, coming back to downward facing dog. So you're going to prepare for Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A, building a little bit of heat in the body. And again, the sun salutations, they warm the body to get rid of any toxins or impurities in the body and in the mind. So we're going to inhale, bend the knees, step forward into halfway lift. Draw the belly in to protect the spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step back to plank. And then lowering down with the knees, chest, chin. You want to try and keep the hips high. And then inhale, sliding the chest through into Cobra. So you're going to take a couple of rounds of wide Cobra. It's really nice to strengthen the muscles in the back. So coming up onto the fingertips. And then inhale, lifting up, squeezing the glutes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. In your ability to exhale. Focus in on any sensation. Sorry, I don't know what that is there. Equipped with the tool of Sorry about that. I don't know where that was coming from. I was trying to figure out where the noise was. Okay, so we're just going to come back into downward facing dog. And then we'll take 5 breaths here. Again, breathing steadily in and out through the nose. It's audible oceanic breathing. And then inhale, we'll bend the knees, step forward to the top of the mat, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank. And then lower all the way down, knees, chest and chin, keeping the elbows in. And then inhale, sliding through into Cobra, or up dog. Exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. So again, 5 breaths here. So every time we come back to down dog, you can hold down dog, or you can drop the knees and just come back into your child's pose, bringing the forehead down towards the mat. 3 more conscious breaths. And then we'll inhale, bend the knees, step to the top of the mat, coming into halfway lift, engaging the core. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Then inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms up. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step back to plank. Again, try to keep the body strong in plank. Again, just take a moment to notice if the muscles are switched on. So you draw the belly in, lift your kneecaps, engage your quads. Try to draw the heels slightly back towards the back of the room and really ground into the index finger and thumb. And then lower down knees, chest and chin. Inhaling into cobra. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Maybe close the eyes here. Bringing in the practice of withdrawal of the senses. When you close the eyes, you're less distracted in our practice. We can just focus on the breathing. And then inhale, bend the knees. Hopper step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, fold. One more, sun salutation A. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back, engaging the body in plank. Inhale here. And exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, sliding through into cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths, steady breathing, steady mind. And then inhale, bend the knees, step forward into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, fold. So we're going to come into Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. We start with chair pose, Utkatasana. So you bend your knees and then tuck your tailbone, draw the belly in. Then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, hands to mat, step back to plank, and then lower down, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling into cobra. If you're familiar with upward facing dog, so your knees and your thighs are off the floor, but you try to squeeze your glutes if you're doing that. If that's too much pressure, just keep the knees down. Lifting the thighs, squeeze the glutes, shoulders down and back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And then we bring in Virabhadrasana A. You're one step the right foot forward and you drop the back heel, pivot the back foot. Then you bring the hands into prayer. Then inhale, reaching up. And then exhale, and bring the hands back down and step back to plank, lowering all the way down. Inhale into cobra. If you're coming into up dog, lift your knees and thighs, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then we'll step the left foot forward. So you drop the back heel, pivot the back foot slightly outwards. Bring the palms together and then inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the hands down. Left foot comes back to plank and then lowering down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So in Sun B, you should notice maybe an increase in the heart rate. Maybe that we start to breathe a little bit faster. But it's really good for the circulation, getting the blood flowing, getting the lymphatic system going. So you just want to try and keep the breath steady as well while you're in down dog. So just steady breathing. In and out through the nose. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, bend the knees, hopper step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So bend the knees, tuck your tailbone. And Samasthiti, exhale, back to standing. So we'll do one more sun salutation B. Inhale into chair. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank. And then lowering all the way down. Inhale, cobra, maybe upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot forward, Virabhadrasana A or 1. Reach the arms up, press the palms, inhale. Try to lift the ribs up away from the pelvis. And then exhale, take the hands down. Right foot comes back to plank. And then lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then step the left foot forward, warrior 1, press the palms, inhale, reaching up, lifting up. And exhale, take the hands down, left foot back to plank, and lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So again, take 5 breaths here. If it feels better to just get a little bit of movement, you can sway the hips side to side or bend one knee, bend the other. Again, noticing this nice stretch in the spine, also stretching into the hamstrings, the calves, into the ankles as well. 2 more full breaths. And then inhale, bend the knees, step to the top of the mat into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Samasthiti, exhale. So this time we're going to come into chair pose. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. So when you come down into chair, you probably notice your glutes and your thighs are working here. So it's kind of harder to hold it. So draw the belly in, tucking the tailbone. 3 more breaths. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank. And then lowering all the way down. Inhale, cobra, maybe upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then we're going to move into the standing postures of Virabhadrasana B or 2. We're going to step the right foot forward and then you turn out the back foot so it's in line with the back of the mat, and then bring the arms up to shoulder level. You want to relax the shoulders but spread the fingers, energy in the fingertips, and then bending into the front knee, so it's also a hip opener, opening the hips, and then flip the front palm, reverse. So breathe into the right side, a nice stretch in the right side body, and then back to extended side angle, stretching all the left side of the body. One more time, back into reverse. Exhale. And do that one more time so you come back into reverse and extended side angle. And then this time we'll come into warrior 2 And we're going to inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend into the front knee, warrior two. So it's just a little bit of a breath flow just to make you more mindful of your breathing. So you want to inhale, straight leg. And then exhale, bending the leg. Inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more. Inhale. Nice deep breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. And then flip the front palm, come back into reverse. And then exhale, we're going to come into pyramid pose. So with pyramid pose, you could bring, if you have your blocks, you can bring the blocks to either side of the front foot. And then you want to just inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold down the midline. So this is really nice stretch into the hamstrings as well. If you need a little micro bend in the front knee, that's fine. If you prefer, you can have the fingertips down on the floor and just try to relax the head and the neck here. Again, just letting go of tension in the neck. 5 more breaths. And then from here, you just want to press both hands down into the mat and then step your right leg back into plank. So if you prefer, you can take your vinyasa flow, or you can push back to down dog, which is rest in down dog, or come forward into plank, lower down. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. And 5 breaths here. And then inhale, bending the knees. You can hop or step to the top of the mat, moving into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, back into chair pose. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to mat. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. And we're going to do that standing flow on the other side. So you're going to step the left foot forward. So come back up into Virabhadrasana B or 2, turning out the back foot so it's in line with the back of the mat. And then bending into your front knee, really strengthening the legs and opening the thighs. And spread the fingers. You want to flip the front palm, coming into reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, so stretching the right side of the body. Wing back into reverse. Exhale. One more time, coming back into reverse. And then into warrior 2. So we'll come back into this mindful movement, breath flow. So becoming more aware of the inhalation and the exhalation. So inhale, straighten the leg, bring the hands together. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, rise. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then flip the front palm. We'll come back into reverse and coming into Urdhva Uttanasana, your pyramid pose. Again, you can use your blocks here to support the hands, or you can bring your fingertips down onto the mat. And then inhale and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold. And just relax the head and the neck. You can step the back foot in a little bit if you need to. You can have a little bit of a bend in the front knee. 5 breaths. And then I'm going to ground down into both hands and then step back to planks. Again, you can either push back to down dog or take your vinyasa flow, come forward, lowering down. Then inhale, cobra, maybe upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And then this time from down dog, we're going to come into forward fold. So we're going to step the right foot forward and then walk the hands back to the center of the mat, so Prasarita Padottanasana. So you want to inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, so fold forward and down. So here you can explore the position of the hands. And so maybe walking the hands back to be in line with the toes. Maybe bring the weight forward into the balls of the feet so you get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. 5 breaths. And then slowly come back, halfway lift. You're going to come into a twist so you can bring your left hand to the floor or the block. And then inhale, and reach your right arm up, draw the right shoulder back. You're breathing into the twist. And then releasing the right hand down. When I extend the left arm, draw the left shoulder back. And then slowly release down. We'll do one more round of wide-legged forward fold. So you can inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold. So this time you can either just leave the hands on the floor, or maybe this time you bring your peace fingers to the big toe. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. And then slowly come back to a halfway lift. And then we're going to come into side lunge, Skandasana, so you can bend your right knee and extend the left leg. And then you want to try and take the breath into the left leg. So notice that stretch in the left thigh, flexing the toes. And then switching sides, you can bend into the left knee and extend the right leg, flex the toes. Again, really breathe into that stretch in the right thigh. 3 deep breaths. And then slowly come back to the top of the mat. So you can press both hands into the mat, step back to plank, and then you can take your vinyasa flow, or you can skip it and just push back to downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. If you need to drop the knees, you can come into your child's pose anytime. And then we'll just drop the knees and come back to child's pose. So you can just reach the arms out in front. Back to this deep, steady breathing. And then we'll come forward into tabletop. And we're going to do just a little bit of work today on the hips and hamstrings. So it's starting with a low lunge and then moving into a half splits pose. So you can step the right foot forward, and then you want to just let your hips completely sink down towards the floor here. So you probably notice a nice stretch in the groin and the hips. And we're just going to flow back and forth a few times between this pose and half Hanumanasana, which is half splits. So extend your right leg, flex the toes. You can engage your quad to release the hamstring. And then inhale, come forward into low lunge. And then exhale back, half splits. Inhale forward, low lunge. Exhale back, half splits. Just do 3 more in your own time, focusing on the breathing. And then we're going to hold half splits for 5 breaths here, so that you can flex your foot, maybe engage your quad, and just folding down the midline. And then we'll move forward into pigeon pose. So with pigeon, you can come forward into a lunge, but then walk your right foot over to the left, and you can drop your knee down. The knee is behind the right wrist, and then maybe just extending the back leg a little bit more. You can get more of a stretch on the back hip flexors. It might be tight if you're sitting at the desk all day. So this one you can come into full Eka Padaraja Kapotasana, which is one-legged king pigeon. If you prefer, you're on the fingertips and then you bend the back knee and you can grip the foot from the outside. So then you're drawing your heel towards your glute. And then you'll notice a really nice stretch in the back quad and opening up into the hips as well. So then that's option one. Option two is if you want to just relax and make it more restorative, you can just come down onto the chest. Or if you want your supported pigeon, which is one of my favorites, this is the one I teach in restorative yoga, so you can just get your pillow or cushion and then you're just supporting the chin and the chest with the bolster. And then it's just a lot easier to kind of surrender to the pose here. It's probably easier for the tension to dissolve from the hips when you come down. And you can also be more mindful if you have tension in the shoulders or the jaw. So you can just completely relax the shoulders, the jaw, and the belly towards the mat. Close the eyes here. We'll stay in this side for about 10 deep breaths. Mindful breathing. Three more breaths on this side. And just notice on each exhale, just a little bit more tension just dissolving and melting into the mat. And then slowly coming back up, you can press into the hands. And then the counter pose for this one, just the modified version, you could come into tabletop and just take a few circles with the right hip if you prefer. And just coming into down dog, it's nice to stretch out the legs and the hips. And then we'll come into that flow on the other side. So you can step the left foot forward and just drop the hips down. Maybe extending the back leg a little bit more. Notice where the tightness is in the hips. And then on the exhale, coming into half Hanumanasana, half split. So you want to extend the left leg, flex the left toes. Just flow through these two a few times. Inhale forward into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll hold half Hanumanasana for 5 breaths. Again, you can flex the foot and engage the thigh, breathing into the hamstrings. And then coming forward into pigeon again, so you can walk your left foot over to the right, dropping the knee down so it's behind the left wrist, and then extending the back leg maybe. Coming into Eka Padaraja Kapotasana, maybe bend the back knee, gripping the foot, and then drawing the heel towards the glute, and noticing that nice stretch in the right thigh while the hips are sinking more towards the floor. You can stay here for a few breaths, and then if you prefer to kind of relax a little bit more into it, again release the back leg, maybe coming into your supported pigeon. Support the chin and the chest with your pillow, and then the hips just get to surrender a little bit more. Close the eyes here and really notice, where do you find the most restriction, tightness? Notice what kind of sensations you experience here. Maybe they're dull, achy, maybe bitter sensations. And try to direct the breath down into the hips. Close the eyes, just relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. The last few breaths, maybe notice which side was a little bit tighter, because we're not symmetrical, so you could have more tension on the left side than the right. When you hold a yoga pose for a little bit longer, you're increasing your body awareness, so you start to notice things that you might not notice when you're practicing a faster flow. 3 more breaths. And then slowly coming back up and pressing into the hands. Again, you can just come back to tabletop, maybe take a few circles with the left hip, or come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, bending the knees at the hips, sway from side to side. And then option here to either just hold down dog for a couple more breaths, or take one last vinyasa flow, so coming forward into plank and then lowering all the way down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Then we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. You're going to cross the feet over and then come down into a seat. I'm going to come into Upavista Konasana, which is your wide-legged straddle pose. So if you have a pillow again, a lovely colourful bolster that Carla has. If you want that bolster, Carla. You can support the chin and the chest with the bolster. So you can inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold forward, and just try to bring the chest towards the floor. But the goal is not to come all the way down to the floor. The goal is just to get a nice stretch in the inner thighs, in the groin, in the back of the legs. And then sometimes it's nice to even bring the elbows onto the bolster. If you need to elevate it, you can just bring a block on top of the bolster. And I think I mentioned that last week, that should be your new position for watching TV. So spending less time on the couch or sitting in the chairs, because that's what makes our hips really tight and our quads really tight. So this could be a nice yin version of this pose would be to hold it for between 3 to 5 minutes, which is actually really good for lengthening the fascia and the connective tissue. So we just hold this one just a little bit longer as we start to slow down and cool down towards the end of the practice. And if you can, just completely relax the muscles here in the legs this time, because then the healthy stress of the pose will get deeper into the dense connective tissue where there's usually a lot of restriction there. Just close the eyes. Maybe start to fold a little bit deeper into the pose. And just notice that you're still mindful of the breathing. Anapanasati. Breathing in and out through the nose. Try to keep the attention at the tip of the nose, so you keep watching the breath as it comes in and out through the nostrils. Take 5 more breaths here. And then slowly coming back up to straight spine. And you can bend the knees. I will take some windshield wipers, so you can just let your knees fall side to side. And we'll just come into Janusajasana, so you can bend the left knee and extend the right leg. Then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, fold over the right leg. Just take 5 breaths here. And then slowly come back up. As a counter pose, we're going to take flash dance. So press the left hand into the mat and then lift the hips up. Inhale, exhale, lower down. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. And then we'll do Janusajasana on the other side. So bend the right knee, extending the left leg. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, folding over the left leg. Sorry, it was just went on to mute there. So you can come back up. And then we're going to come up into flash dance. So lifting the hips up. Well, it's not time for yoga. And then slowly release the hips down. Mula loves yoga too. I know. We're going to go later. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips up. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Okay, so we're going to come back onto the mat. So lying back, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and then just maybe rocking from side to side. And we'll come into happy baby, so you can grip the inside or the outside of the foot. You can just rock from side to side, and then just draw the knees, draw the shoulders down. And noticing this nice stretch in the inner thighs and the groin. And then we'll just bend in the left knee and just straighten the right leg. So if you can just grip the calf, the ankle, or maybe bring the peace finger around the big toe. We'll just take 3 breaths here. And then switching sides, you can bend the right knee, extend the left leg and be holding on to the calf, the ankle, or peace fingers around the big toe. 3 deep breaths. Breathing into the back of the leg. And then release the legs down. So we're going to come into supine twist. So you can let both knees fall to the right side. You can extend the left arm, gazing to the left, and then option to use your right hand just to press down onto the thigh. If you want to go a little bit further into the twist, again, being really mindful in your twist where you notice where you're sending the breath. The deep inhale, noticing the expansion in the left rib cage. And then a calm exhale, noticing the left ribs drawing in towards the spine. And then coming back to center, so letting both knees fall to the left side. Extend the right arm, gazing to the right. Again, maybe using your left hand just to draw the knee towards the floor. Breathing into the right rib cage this time. And then bring the knees back to center. So preparing for your final posture, Shavasana. So if you'd like to use your pillow underneath the knees, it would be nice to take a little pressure off the low back. For supported Shavasana, getting a blanket or an extra layer if you need one. As the body temperature starts to reduce in Shavasana. So just close the eyes and just relaxing the upper body down, relaxing the shoulders, palms facing upwards. And just letting the feet fall to the side. I'm just trying to relax the whole body from head to toe. Just allowing the floor to support the whole weight of your body. Start to bring awareness to the point of contact of the back body with the floor. Just letting the body get a little bit heavier and just sinking completely into the mat. And if the mind is still busy, you can bring your awareness to the space between the eyebrows or the tip of the nose. So if you can maintain a steady gaze at the tip of the nose, and become more conscious of the breath as it comes in and out through the nostrils. And then for Shavasana, I'm just going to play one more mantra for this evening called the Gayatri Mantra. It's mainly chanted by Deva Premal. And again, if you would like to chant in Shavasana, feel free. So it's really good to release any kind of stuck emotions or negative energy from the body. But feel free just to listen. So I'm focusing on the sounds and the melody of the mantra.
Bargo devasya limai, Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsavitrvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat Om Bhurvuvah Svaha.
And slowly start to bring the awareness back into the body. Bringing movement into the fingers and the toes. Maybe stretching the arms overhead. You're moving over onto your right hand side. Now when you're ready, just coming back up to seated, trying to keep the eyes closed. We'll just stay here for the last few moments of stillness and silence, and focusing on the flow of this prana, the life force energy, as it comes in and out through the nostrils. And on the next inhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, bring the hands to prayer. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And thank you for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with each other. And bringing the thumbs to the forehead. And honoring yourselves for showing up on your mats today. And honoring the yoga tradition for all its benefits. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be filled with peace. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hi, Pilar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And Carla, Claire, Sinead, Grania, Tilly,
Thank
Teresa,
you.
Sabrina,
Thank you.
Nicole, Kira.
Thank you.
Um,
Thanks so much. Oh.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening, and we look forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
you again next Tuesday. If anybody wants to just take down the notes there from the chat Nadia was adding, we'll just leave it open for a couple of minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks, Pilar. Bye. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Sabrina. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.